Hey folks, Peri here. Welcome to this new Let's Play. We're going to be building some stuff here with City Skylines. We're going to see with the what we can do with the base game. We got the DLCs, of course. A couple of assets, a couple of parks that I've built, some pre-made roundabouts, but no mods. Just usually I'll play with some that unlock all of the zones at what, but we'll back up a bit and see what it's like without those. And as mentioned, all the DLCs will be engaged, so we'll be starting a new game. Trying to figure out what map I want to use. Let's see. Wish I let you pan around more. A couple I downloaded from where I grew up. Let's see. We'll go with Foggy Hills. Looks reasonably good. We'll say right-hand driving. City name Vermont. That's a silly name for a city. That's a state name. What should we call this one? Let's see. Oh, because he's my friend and I've done enough of stuff with him. We're gonna call this Keb Alexandria. Why? Because I like messing with Keb. Then again, probably being overly familiar. He may want to do one of these, and he may want to use the name, so. Oh. Let's play City? Yeah, that's rather boring too. We'll call this new Monroe. Why? Because it has no basis in my background whatsoever for me to use the name Monroe, so we'll use it. So we'll start at the cute little suburb of New Monroe, and we will try to build it into ultimately, hopefully, 100,000 people. Maybe, hopefully, possibly. Let's see. I've got my... You know, I like Apple products by and large, even though I overwhelmingly am PC. But my God, do they need to stop putting on the every 5-second reminders on their iProducts? It's like, would you like to update this? Would you like to update this? It's like, go the hell away. I'm largely gonna skip through the tutorials because I've played the game quite a bit. Let's see. Potentially. I'll pause for right now. We might have a good hydroelectric position. We might have to look at reserving part of this riverbed and build up some levees around the side of it. See what we can do. But first off, we need to build roads. So here's the starting plot. One tiny little plot. So it starts off, you can only build roads, single 2-lane road. Can't get any of the fun stuff till down the road. You got your varieties here: is straight road, the curved road, kind of the free form road, and then the elevation steps. Want the road? If you want the road up high, down low. Now, I am eventually going to build quite a bit of stuff below ground, so bear with me when we get to that stage, because it will get crazy. And let's see. Rocks. This actually wouldn't be a bad spot to build an initial forestry industry if we ever got to zoning. Forestry is a great industry early on, just because it's fairly low impact. So, first things first. I'm not gonna. First things first, I'm going to keep that back on the grid base. And let's see. One-way roads are a bit further down. Rationale in building that is I wanted this right here is going to control a lot of my initial early gridding as a build setting. I'm a big grid builder, so if that is not something, that's just how I end up building stuff. Ooh, actually, this is good farmland over here too. This is actually not a bad spot for the light industries. But anyways, I tend to grid quite a bit, and these initial freeway entrances are never aligned. They're always like one square off, and that drives me crazy, because if you just directly connect them, it blows up the rest of the grid. So, that being said, there we go, one-way streets. And upgrade. So that people can come and go with ease. Now, I almost always build housing on this side, initial bit of commerce, and then some industry right here. But this foresting right here is, I'd really love to exploit that for industry down the road. But it is hard to do with the way this is set up. Now, you can build them like that, and that's, of course, the wrong way. It's two one-ways going the same way. But if you go with the upgrade button over something and right-click it, one-way street will flip direction. And we'll keep it like that. Yes, the game is paused. Thank you, pause alert button. So we're gonna go. Thank you. We'll make this the first little industrial part of town. ahead and sacrifice some of this forest. Edge of this forest, at least for what I'm after. And the goal is with doing all of this is to make sure you've, at least when I'm doing it, to make sure the miniature square coverage is basically ideal. At least till you get later in the game and you start just doing things for style points. So. That's our housing. We're going to put a water tower there. I missed. Well, the river's going downstream, so we will put everyone's popular sewage treatment plant there. Takes care of that for power. Now, something like a coal plant is cheap. 19,000 gives you 40 megawatts. So basically it's equivalent to 3 of these for 5 times the power. But the trick is 5 of these have 5 windmills have an upkeep of 80 a week. 5 times 8 is 400. So you're saving money. You can... So as much as I don't like wind and solar in the real world because they're gigantic boondoggles, I can go along with them here. I can tolerate them here. Because here, they are quite cheap. Or at least the maintenance costs for them is quite cheap. So I've got a road grid built, I have my initial little residential block built, power, sewage, water. Don't have any jobs yet, but you know, it's what it is. Don't quite want that. We will go... I'll throw a commercial in here, even though we don't need it yet. There we go. And away we go. So the first few houses going in. As you see, the housing demand is still quite high, but here come the commercial and residential demands. And a lot of this is going to get heavily redeveloped when they get further into the city. So now we're wanting some industry. And actually, we will go ahead and make this one-way, both a two-way street. Just got all your different info views. People are relatively happy. Traffic is relatively light. Water and power needs are met. Let's see now. Build a few more factories. We're currently using 6 of 16 megawatts. That's good. Water well within the norms there, so that's good. So 440 is the next unlock. And we get the fun stuff there. Well, let's see. We can build a few more houses. Ooh, or a little hamlet. I can now do taxes, loans. I get access to first clinic, the medical school, and the landfill. So 900 is the next one. And that's the one I'm looking for because that will open up forestry and agriculture. So, health. Let's see, where is a good spot for healthcare? I don't want to put you there. Alright, let's redirect some power. Gives me what I want there. This would give me clinic I want to put there. Yeah, because right now I'm trying to preserve as much of this as I can. Then there's, of course, the garbage. Now, for the time being, we are just going to put it right here in town. Keeps it close enough for easy access, but it's also far enough away from places that cause any kind of pollution. Water is still plentiful. Power is getting a little low. Well, not low per se, but it's creeping up and where I'd rather it not creep up on. Let's see. Actually, those roads are unneeded. Now, I can't show it yet. One of the important things to keep in mind of even with these is your employment numbers. If you get those two out of whack, if you pay too much attention to the commercial and industrial needs and not the residential, then the city starts falling way out of balance. So to paraphrase from the old game Caesar 2, plebs are needed. Let's see. How are we doing there? Have some rain. can rename any of these things. Let's see. Alrighty. Well, it's kind of weird when you stop it in the rains. Anyways. So we've reached a pretty good breaking point. We're approaching being a worthy village, which will hopefully let some of my master planning go over here. And see what we can do industry-wise out of these zones. And clean this bit up. And yeah, so anyways. Thanks for watching and welcome to this new series. We'll see how far we get before we've reached our goals and done all the damage we can. Tune in next time and I'll see you then. Oops. Or I'll push the wrong button.